Hey, what's up, gamers? Black Barnes here. I don't know if you can see me. There I am. I just want to give a quick shout out to the RPG tubers, RPG community here on YouTube. Click Clack Bang, or Clack Click Bang, excuse me. The Gentleman Gamer, Tetsuba57, Wood WWAD, 23 Penguin 32, Bland Humanoid, Bolt Orange, Bruce Lombardo 75, Captain Machine, E-Weave 20, Master of Flowers, Robert J. Fremantle, Sam Y7, Outsider 68, Tower Guard DM, Yuri Prime, Webhead 123, T Walker, Asterisk 83, Roll Reviewal. All those guys have great RPG channels. I'm kind of new to the RPG community here on YouTube, and I want to thank everybody for putting their posts up and accepting me into the community and sharing with me. And if you're new and you're checking this video out, those guys have some great RPG channels. I highly recommend them. The next thing I want to address is some props and minis. You know, I'm an old timer, I'm a graybeard, and I played a lot of first edition, second edition revised. When third edition came out and I first read it, the first thing I thought to myself is, like, this kind of reads like a video game, you know? Like, not necessarily like how you would read a video game instructions, but maybe if you were to design a video game, how it would look. Anyway, so over the last few months I've really gotten into minis. I never really incorporated. I used them a little bit a few years ago, but I didn't get too heavy in terrain or anything like that, and recently, over the last month ago, when I decided to open the game shop, I really decided to get into them. So this is what one of our typical scenarios looks like now on the game board. I tried to record our game session tonight. It was something similar, but it was a little bit more detailed, and it didn't record. I also tried to record the shout-outs yesterday, but that didn't really go out too well. I had a lot more to say, a lot more thanks. And, sorry, Penguin 23 wasn't that involved. 32. Anyway, thanks for helping me delete that. So this is some of the stuff we got going on now. The thing about minis is it is a pain in the ass. I mean, you know, it's got a lot of problems. You got to set it up. It takes time. It takes money. You got to have a lot of foresight into, like, where your characters are going to go and what kind of minis you're going to need. But you know, as far as like as tactical time on the board, I think it's great as far as keeping track of things. A lot of my players enjoy it. I enjoy it, and I think it brings a new dimension to the game. You know, I'm an artist and I enjoy crafting and stuff. Like, I made some of these models here. Now these were just cheap $3 or $4 models, but I'll paint them up and do them nice. I got some more in the background there. I don't know if you can see them. But even that pagoda was like $4 at Michael's or something. And the rest of the stuff is styrofoam for the most part. These rocks I found laying around. This is a rock cut with a wet saw to make both ends smooth so I can place characters on it. You can see the little homemade spectral hand or Big B's hand there. Some Lego stuff. Some, you know, just wood lying around. Some rocks. Some shells. You know, some drink tops, and we use you know, we use pipe cleaners or fuzzy sticks, and this is just a piece of wood I found lying around out there. Somebody had chopped it with a chainsaw and it had some flat edges, so I don't know if you can see that some of these figures, skeletons, are up here shooting down at the ship. I'm going to try to show you around the game board a little bit. I mean, it's kind of hard. I don't have a that's one of my favorite things about this. I don't have a camcorder, but one of my favorite things about playing with miniatures is the old you know, from the library window, thing here, the CSI string line of sight thing. I just think it looks cool. You know, but again, like part of the problem I have with minis is whenever we go to the mini board or I start to describe a scene that looks like the scene that's on the table, then they know that tactical time is and that there's possible combat. And if they avoid that, then you know I set up for a lot of nothing. And I got to get ready for the next setup. So that is a problem with minis. There is a setup time. The characters know when combat is, you know, either intended or possible. But again, you know, I don't mind sticking to the graph paper. You know, I have the minis now, so I'm kind of trying to get my dollar's worth, I guess. But and it's a new experience for me, really. I never really played with minis to this extent ever before, as you can see. And I hope to keep going with it. I hope to get further and further involved in it. I do like creating it. I think it looks cool. But as far as like bogging the game down, yeah, sure, it bogs the game down. Extensively. I can bog the game down. You know, and there's a lot of tools and investment with it. You know, from an architect's ruler, just to get things to scale, or even S scale when you're buying other things that aren't Dungeons and Dragons minis. Tape measures, various sorts, tape measures, rulers. I don't know how much you could probably see the table is gridded. You know, I got the laptop about halfway up the table. The rest of the table is filled with food, but that's a different story. But I do like playing with minis, and I think it does add an extra element to combat and line of sight, and it does help you with your description to some extent. It can persuade players to think things are that aren't things, but you can also lose that in description. You can also get players confused in description, and really a lot of that has to do with the description on the game board is just merely saying, well, this Weemic is really a gnoll that's a Tauric creature mixed with a horse or something. And so, you know, besides that kind of discrepancies, there's not a whole lot. I had my plank board set up here. I guess I lost it. Did it fall? Yeah, it fell. Alright, so let's just reset this up here. I'll show you what the scene was. This is just a piece of sandpaper. I should have a piece of balsa wood for this, I guess. Try to fold it over again. Alright, there we go. Sorry about this. He's falling over, but that's generally seen. I'm going to try to show you some more of it. I don't know how well this is going to come out. Over here, a little temple. I don't know if you really see the temple or not. Inside there, that's just styrofoam painted up. You know, you can see I got a little lich scene going on in there. Some of the scenario over here. That's just some wood and stones. Again, this is just a piece of wood I found lying around. And I thought it might fit with my miniatures for some scenarios or whatever. So I used it. The pagoda, I think, was a birdhouse. If you're using miniatures, fun tack is get as much fun tack as you can, because you'll need it. Again, you know, using miniatures can be a distraction, sure. Your players can get too focused on miniatures. In other ways it helps. It really helps in tactical time. I don't see any use for it in off time or when there's no threat to the players at all. But for us, it's fun. We enjoy it. You know, we use different markers to show different things, like a spell effect on somebody. These little rubber nipple things. You know, or just drink caps like this guy. You know. So that's all I really have to say about miniatures. You know, if either you enjoy them or you don't. I don't like how Wizards made the miniatures collectible. I don't really think that was too cool. But whatever, it is what it is. The last thing I wanted to ask everybody is, when I realized when I started to do this level of miniatures, I started to include the environment a lot more into the initiative order, and eventually I just started to give the environment a spot in the initiative. So, for instance, say this was a slow flowing stream at 10 foot per round. The swim check would be 10. This character falls into the water, and then on initiative, on the environment initiative, he would fall 10 towards the way the stream was flowing. Say it was flowing this way, he would move 10 this way. Or a fire would spread on initiative round of the environment's initiative round. You could have a fire spreading further, avalanches, any numerous triggers that you may normally use in the environment, or things in the environment that are constantly moving. I give them their own initiative order, and I move the whole environment once. I don't know what you guys think about that, but that's a house rule I've been using. Maybe you guys can give me some feedback. Again, I'd like to thank everybody that I thought thanked before, and those are kind of my views on miniatures. I'm kind of into it at the moment, but I haven't played with them extensively, and so guess I'll give you a later review on miniatures. And let me know what you think about the environment house rule. And happy gaming, everybody. Later on.